What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another brand new review for Love After Lockup. Well, actually, this is Love During Lockup. This is Love During Lockup. This is season 5. I believe this is episode 24, you guys. I could be wrong. I think this is episode 24, and this episode is titled Vegas or Bust. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date, having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Love During Lockup, shall we? Right, you guys. So this episode, there were some moments in this episode where I was like, it's very sad. And then there were some moments in this episode where I was like, what? Let's start up with the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Andrew and Candice. Y'all, I really don't feel bad for Andrew. I don't necessarily know if I believe Candice is playing him, but I do know that Andrew is a lost cause. That man is less than smart. He is a fool, a whole ass fool. Like, this man is going to run himself into the poorhouse trying to take care of this young lady. And if that's what he want to do it. And I'm like, girl, get it how you live, right? But he's spending so much money on this girl. And I was just like, why? You've never met her. And you have a child. You're doing more for this woman than you are for your own child. And I have a problem with a man who does that. I have a problem with anybody who does that, who will put another human that is not their kid above their children. And I don't really see it for Andrew. And the more that I look at Andrew, I'm like, God, I feel like, because he's talking about she's either getting out in a few days or a few hours, but she's getting out soon. Because that's why he's doing this apartment and all that kind of stuff, and even has this truck. And I was just like, this man is probably going to end up on Love After Lockup, and I don't want to see him. I really don't. Nothing personal against him. I just don't have it. I have very little respect for this man. Like, very little respect, especially after, like I said, we heard last week what he said about his child support. Like, it's just like, sir, you got to get your priorities together. So he's still driving. And so she calls him and she wants him to move closer to her. I was like, you would be a fool to do that. But I think he would do it. You can call him a fool, and you can call him a fool in love or just a fool in general. I think he's a fool. We also found out a little bit more about Candice, that Candice was previously married. She's been married twice, and she has a child as well. I was like, you know, I don't be trying to, I don't really be wanting to, I'm going to say it, but I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to say it. I always look at people, like I just called him selfish. People who have kids you go to prison for sometimes it's dumb things. I can see it if you go to prison for, if you're trying to take, like, people who, like, I saw recently where a woman went to jail for boosting, right? And she was boosting because she was boosting to get money so that way she could take care of her kids. Is it right? No. Do I understand it? Yeah, you got to take care of your kids, but I mean, you also can get a job, right? I can understand if people are doing things to take care of their kids, but if you're selfishly doing things that ain't for your kids, then you just a selfish ass person. But again, like I said, even with the boosting, it's still selfish, but it's like you're doing it for a different reason, if that makes sense to anybody. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys thought about Andrew. Then he drove by the prison, talking about I'm gonna honk 3 times, see if you can hear it. I love you. Do you know her? Pausing here and moving forward. Next up, you guys, Aana and Jamal. So Aana and Jamal. Aana and Jamal. I'm trying to figure out. So I still feel like Aana is trifling as fuck. And I'm going to stand on that because it's like, damn, that was your best friend. And I'm using air quotes on that one because that wasn't your best friend. That girl wasn't your best friend if you could easily get with the man that she was with. That wasn't your best friend on any level, on any day, at any point. Was that your best friend? And then y'all lived together, girl, that wasn't your best friend. But you guys know Aana's situation. So she's talking to Jamal about coming to visit him. He's like, we got a phone visit. She's like, I ain't talking about that. You get to see this fat ass in person. I was like, girl, that's all you care about, huh? Because you were talking about his dick last week, and now you're talking about your ass. Is it just the actuals between you and Jamal? But then she said she ain't saw Jamal it's been a long time since she saw Jamal. And I feel like it was before he went to prison. So never mind, I don't care. That's her life. You live it. So remember last week when she was talking to her attorney, right? And they were talking about the case that she has against her for fighting her friend. Well, the attorney wanted her to go to anger management. So she went to anger management. I tweeted this last night. Am I supposed to feel sorry for Aana? Somebody was like, a little bit. But then I listened to it again this morning when I was watching it to do my notes. And I actually do feel bad for Aana. Not that much. I am going to say a little bit, right? Because you listen to her story about the fact that her dad wasn't in her life and she felt like the black sheep of her family. I get that, right? So, but that's not an excuse because I also feel like the black sheep of my family, right? And do I have, I have a slight anger problem, and I definitely do have an attitude problem, right? But I know how to check myself, right? I know how to check myself, but I think the thing with Aana is a young girl, so she's still learning. But again, like I said about Aana, I still believe that Aana is trifling as the fuck, trifling as hell, trifling, just trifling. Let me know what you guys thought about Aana in this episode. We'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. All right, you guys. So we were introduced to a new couple this week. So we have one more couple to meet after Shante and True. So Shante and True. So we see Shante cooking. I was like, girl, that is a lot of damn food. That is a lot of food that Shante was cooking. So we find out that she likes to cook. And so she is with her boyfriend, True. So True I think he said he was in a car with her cousin, and she wanted to talk to him. And then she also said that she saw his pictures at one point, but she was like, he ain't for her. But then they sent her another picture, and he was for her. And I guess it's because at one point he was scrawny, but while he was in prison, he done bulked up. Now, I also am I the only person that looked at it? I'm a facial person, you guys. So, and one thing I do notice, eyes, I notice eyes too. I was looking at his eyes at one point. I was like, is one eye going one way and one eye going another direction? Let me know if I'm tripping. So he's been locked up for 12 and a half years. My God, that's a long ass time. Shit. I would just call on the good Lord. If they say anything past 5 years, and bitch, if they say anything past 2, bitch, if they say anything past 10 months, scratch that. If they say anything past 30 days, I'm like, Lord, take me, Lord, take me. Do not take me, Lord. Please don't. I'm just being funny. But if I went to jail, if I was in court and a judge said, I'm sentencing you to 30 days in prison, I'd be like, huh? No, Lord. Yeah, no. Wouldn't be able to do it. But hey, it is what it is. So she wants to open up a restaurant. And we also found out that she moved into a new home I guess to be closer to where he's going to be paroled at. And I was like, I don't know if that's smart. I don't know if that's smart. And then she's paying paying for 2 homes until the other one sells. I was like, yeah, that's definitely not smart. You're losing money, sis. You're losing money. Her family was trying to talk some sense into her. Do I think they've talked some sense into her? Not at all. Not at all. But hey, good luck to you, Shante. Good luck to you. We'll pause here, you guys, and we'll move forward with the sad part of the episode. Next up, you guys, Joey and Michael. Joey and Michael. Part of me feels like this might be a codependent relationship, more so on Joey's part, because I think Joey still struggles not with his sexuality, but I definitely know he struggles with depression. And I don't know if this, I feel like this is a codependent relationship. So Michael is going to be meeting Joey's family for the first time, right? So his mom is there, his dad is there, his sister, his brother, and his sister-in-law, right? So they all are introduced to Michael, and the dad asked, Michael, how did he and Joey meet? He said, oh, we met on a dating app. And so his dad said, Grindr. He said, yeah. He said, so that does check out. And, Michael is a family. He loves family too. He didn't have his dad, so he's looking forward to, having a relationship with Joey's mom and dad. And after the call, the family talked to Joey, and they were basically letting Joey know that they're worried for him. And honestly, I am too. I definitely am too, right? Because his sister brought up the fact that she knows for a fact that Joey relapsed 5 months ago, and it was with Michael. And I was like, oh no. Oh. And see, that's what when I was talking last week, I knew something was bad, because I kind of figured that Joey and Michael had used together. I could see that clear as day, that they had probably, done drugs together. And, he was talking about how he felt alone. And that's why I was like, oh, poor. I actually really like Joey, you guys. I do like Joey. And I tweeted this, is like, I pray for Joey. I hope, he's good. And I really, for Joey, I hope he's in therapy. Because I think although he has come out, I do still feel like some of those lingering feelings from him being in the closet, he still is dealing with those, and he's still struggling with some of those feelings. And I think that's what's going on with him, right? But like I said, I really do feel like this relationship with Michael is codependent as hell, because he wants to be there for Michael. I'm like, yeah, this is a codependent relationship. Do I believe he loves Michael? He could, right? But I also feel like this is one of those I don't know if I would say trauma bond, because I don't know if Michael has any trauma, but definitely Joey does, right? Oh, the family also found out how many offenses Michael has. Like, and they offer drugs and alcohol. It's like, my God. This also goes to something that I've always thought about when it comes to the prison system, right? And how it's different for, working class and lower, middle class, and the dirt poor people, and just people who are just poor, right? Because you see people who have access to money and things of that nature. Yes, they will get arrested, and and they'll have to go before a judge to get a sentencing when it comes to drugs and alcohol. But with people with money, they say, oh, give them a slap on the wrist, you get some probation, you do some community service, and you also are mandated to go to rehab by the court, right? But when it comes to black, brown, and the lower class white people, they just throw your ass in jail. That's not a fix. You're not helping that person. You're just throwing them in jail. And most times, because I actually know somebody like this, right? Been in jail quite a few times for drugs, because his drug of choice is coke. Well, no, not even coke. The rock, the crack rock. And instead of sending him to rehab, he is sent to prison for X amount of years. And it's like, and you just look at it and think to yourself, it's like, sending them to prison isn't helping them. Yes, they'll be, and most times they're not even going to be clean in prison because they still have access to the drugs. But I mean, you can still have access to it in rehab, but at least in rehab, you're able to detox and all that kind of stuff. That's just my personal opinion and my feelings. I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but hey, it is what it is, you guys. Yeah, let's pause here and wrap up this episode. You guys, Tenny and Rob, my God, you guys, when I tell y'all I hollered at Tenny and Rob's scene, and it was the last scene of the episode, it cracked me up. So he called her on FaceTime. I was like, but don't you got... See, and I still think that that's weird, the fact that he has cameras in her house. It would be a resounding absolute, without a doubt, hell to the fucking nah. Do not put no cameras in my house. No. You are in prison. Why do you need to watch me? No, sir. Worry about the guard that you got to ask for permission to go to the bathroom. They tell you when to eat. They tell you when to shower, and they tell you when to do things. You don't worry about nothing here. We fine. When you get out of prison, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. But as of right now, it ain't going to happen, sir. Just putting that out there for you, right? But they're working out. So Rob is telling Tenny that he wants her to meet up with his mama. And so Tenny lets us know Rob's mama don't see it for her because of something that happened. And I was like, girl, what happened? Child, when she sat down with his mama, mama had the fuck it face on. She was just like, it's been almost 20 years since I saw you. Tenny was like, it hasn't been that long, but it does feel like that. So the situation is, and I felt bad for Tenny because it's like, you just catching a stray for your husband. And I would have, went in, but she did say she tried to call his mama. The mama didn't answer the phone. So I'll give her that. And so what happened is Rob gave his mama $500, right? And then he told Tenny to take the money back. I was like, I don't know if he can say that. I don't know if he can say that phrase anymore. Oh, so you just gonna take them, like, that's fucked up. And I don't blame his mama for being mad, but you mad at the wrong person, mama. Then the mama said his ex-girlfriend, they bleeped her name out. She said she wouldn't have did it, and she just kept saying that girl's name. And I was with Tenny, like, you just being blatantly disrespectful. And so Tenny got up and said, fuck it, I'm leaving. And I honestly didn't blame Tenny, because you're not gonna sit here and just keep calling this woman's name out. Because if she wouldn't have done it, then what that mean to me? I wonder. Oh, you know what? I get what the mama was trying to say. But it was a slap in Tenny's face, because the mama was basically trying to say that if his ex-girlfriend was still with him, she wouldn't have been okay with him saying, "Call my mama to get the money back." But mama, you didn't have to do that. But you were mad at Tenny, so you were like, you know what, little bitch, I'm just take a and just dig it in, because I know that that's probably a sore spot for you to just mention his ex-girlfriend's name. It's a mess. And he got 1 month until he gets out of prison. I wonder if we're gonna see him in Love After Lockup. I'm wondering what couple, because you guys know that sometimes there are couples from Love During Lockup that transition to Love After Lockup, and I'm wondering which couples are gonna transition from this show to Love After Lockup. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments section below. You guys subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. Until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourself, you guys. Wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I did plan on going live for this episode, but I've since deleted that live, so what will happen with love during lockup and love after lockup and even life after lockup. I do want to get back to doing those lives, but I'm only gonna do them if the episode gives us something. If the episode don't give us nothing at all, then we ain't gonna go live for it, you guys. So that'll be the only way we go live for love after lockups. Any of the three versions of love after lockup. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.